Hey everyone, it's Christine here. Welcome to my channel. We are going to see what messages the star seeds have for you at this time, or what do you need to know, what's being illuminated, what golden nuggets are coming your way. Grab a drink, hop in, let's get started. As I'm shuffling, I always want to remind you, please always trust yourself, your intuition, practice discernment with me or any other reader, and know that everyone always has free will. So let's see what messages the star seeds want you to know at this time. Okay, we got two. Got the Empress at the bottom of the deck, Taurus energy. So fitting in Three of Cups. Nurturing environments. We got the King of Swords and Justice. Shitload of Libra air energy here. And as usual, if you hear slurping, that's my dog. I have two wiener dogs that as soon as I do a reading, they decide to eat, play, jingle around, or slurp. Wow. I'm getting a lot here, especially with what's below the deck. This is about, I feel like the starseeds are telling you all, it's about taking back your power now. This month is about reclaiming any parts of yourself where you have felt diminished, dimmed, belittled, squashed, put down, devalued, disrespected in any way, shape, or form, where you feel like you may have given parts of yourself to others, or people have tried to take that from you through, there's power differentials coming through, power and control in any way, and that can come in the form of abuse as well. This is a time to recognize your light, your gifts, the power that you have. This energy is very powerful and strong. Things are going to be equalizing. I feel like once you recognize that yourself, that's when the equilibrium will come. It's a restoration of justice too, not just internal justice, not just current and practical justice, also past life, and justice from when you may have felt limited or contained. These energies are all about speaking your truth and commanding that and standing in that way. Some of you are being guided with this energy to really be careful with who you share your words with, your energy, your time. I feel like there are boundaries that are coming up with certain people in your life, with anything that doesn't allow you to stand in your power. This really brings to light a lot of relationship people energy. So you're being guided to take a look at who's around you. And we all know the saying, the people, the 5 closest people to you are an average to you. I think I said that wrong. You're the average of the 5 people that you associate with, right? And there's different degrees of relationships, especially when it comes to friendships. Obviously, those closest to you have greater influence and impact, and maybe are more meaningful or have some more significance to you than those that are in the outer rings, if you will. And so there's energies around you where you may need to tighten up your boundaries, where you may need to be careful of not giving too much or allowing people too much access to you. And also letting people know who you are by standing in your truth. I'm getting here too as well. Be careful of, if you feel you have to change yourself or watch what you say around someone or diminish what you've accomplished, what you've done, and who you are, simply alter yourself in any which way. That's a huge signal for you that those people that you're around, you may need to reconsider and reconfigure how they fit in your life. They're puzzle pieces that are moving around. This is a no bullshit attitude. Starseeds are telling you, many folks have been getting signs. It's time to get their shit together. It's time to step it up. It's time to shine your light. It's time to get on with it. Because there may be others around you that may have made you feel like you weren't enough, you couldn't do this, you weren't capable. And this is time to cut that shit out. There's a seriousness too that I'm sensing here. This isn't fun and games. This is serious. Your Starseed family wants you to look in the mirror and recognize the power of who you are, the power of you, and the power that you bring into this world, into this earth, and in this incarnation, because you're here for a reason. And you have it within you, and everyone has their own unique print. I call it soul print. Everyone has their own unique soul print, like a fingerprint. And so even if someone else is doing something you want to do, they won't be able to do it the same way you do. That's something someone has to hear right now. Because there's so many starseeds, light workers, healers, creative sensitives, as I call them. There's a lot of folks that are waking up and realizing the truth of who they are as souls. But there's also a lot of fear and programming, deconstruction of self-limiting beliefs, etc., that is also happening simultaneously. And it's a very painful process as it is illuminating, enlightening. There's a lot of curiosity happening. That means first recognizing where you are. That means recognizing where you are at this moment and who you surround yourself with. Because there's going to be people, when you step it up and you declare, you know what, this is what I'm doing, and I know some people are not going to like it, they want to prove, but I don't give a shit. This is the energy, and you're going to have some, I feel, pushback, especially from friends and family, where they are going to express everything they want to, but you're being asked to stand in your power, in your light. How do you do that? First, you connect to what you want, what it is that you're desiring. And it's being able to, it could be physically standing, but also emotionally, mentally, spiritually, energetically, knowing that you are going to receive those pummels. Imagine you're walking and people are throwing snowballs at you. You'll keep walking. Most people won't stand there to allow more snowballs to come. You'll just keep walking. It's that same energy. And this is where protection work, energetic work, and also knowing what people say is not really about you. It's more of a reflection of themselves. So if people throw shade at you, throw negativity, try to project on you, give you negative crap, or tell you, no, you can't do that, or they make fun of you, whatever it is, it's all on them. So there's going to be, because this is a very detached energy. Libra energy, air signs in general, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, very detached energy. You're being asked to detach yourself from any emotional shit that people try to snowball to you, that people try to throw your way. Some of you may want to move in silence. King of Swords is someone that does. They speak to people that they trust to and connect to people that they trust to and only relay information on an as needed basis. They're not all out sharing with folks. They also lead very much by what they see and by their logic too. But you're also, with the Justice card, being asked to tap in and use your intuitive gifts, your knowings as well. What I'm getting here, starseeds are constantly reminding folks to not forget your essence of who you are. And there's people that, because of fear, it's fear, because I see a lot of people climbing out. And you know, when people climb out, and imagine yourself in a pit and you're all climbing out and people are toppling over one another. Something too, when raves were popular or in concerts, it's packed, especially if you're in the standing area, it's packed. And when people want to leave or move, it's like you have to swarm your way out. It's that effect. There's some people that are going to try to cling on to you because they're scared and they're like, don't leave me, because they're not ready. They don't want you to be ready. There's other folks that are trying to pull you down because they want your energy and your light and they feel it and they can feed off of you. There's others, for whatever reason, people are tugging at you. And this is time to awaken. Discernment is on the rise, is key here for starseeds, light workers. Your light is getting brighter and dimmer. You may notice too, especially the more you have been on this process and as you continue forward, that you attract a lot of people, and they're not always people that you want to be connected to, and they're pivoting something to you, making sure that your discernment radar and your intuitive radar is on par. This is about trusting what you feel too. There's going to be a lot of setting boundaries. You're going to know right away who is going to support you, because people will fall off if they don't. Boundaries really speak volumes about who truly supports you and who's using you. Whew, I've been feeling that big time lately. And there's been a huge focus, especially post-eclipse energy, or excuse me, post-eclipse season. Now that the 2 eclipses for this fall season and spring, if you're in the southern hemisphere, have passed through, things are clearing away. Things are being removed, and also you're being given the opportunity to recognize what needs more removal or what needs more firmness, more perhaps established or increased boundaries, because be careful of any porousness. There will be people, energies, things that try to squeeze their way in, almost as if to keep you in the past. This is an energy I have been feeling in recent weeks as well. You may get folks popping in from the past. You will know if folks have changed in any way or have grown, and if they have not. And this is all about standing in maintaining your own energy, your own lighthouse power, your own magic. There are a lot of tests. I see them as pop quizzes because there's so many things that people don't want you to speak your truth on. People don't want this to be unveiled, especially for light workers and for those that identify as starseeds, because many of you are being reactivated, reawakening to your ancient wisdom. Many of you that identify as that have been around the block on Earth just a few times. And I say that sarcastically. You've been here for a while. You've had incarnations here and also in other planets, other dimensions, other realities. And so many of you are being reawakened to downloads that you're getting, energetic upgrades. I almost said lighthouse downloads, but they're energetic light codes, light language. The sharpness between this world and the other, and I say that very broadly. The line, I should say, the demarcation between this world and the other worlds is thinning, and many of you are becoming a lot more perceptive. So in other words, especially this month, but in general, there's just a greater increase. The direction that you may be experiencing is just a greater increase of everything around you. So greater intuitive abilities, psychic abilities, you're opening up to things. You may be seeing a lot of different things, glitches. And the best way to describe this is with video games or arcade games, where sometimes it looks like there's a glitch, or even when TVs, when they're static, it's like that. Sometimes with static, and sometimes in paranormal tools that they use, you'll catch different things from other worlds, other realities. That's what's happening right now. So trust what you're experiencing and what's happening and what's unfolding. There's a strengthening here. As things get dark, that's when the light is most needed. That's not to evade or bypass the darkness. But for many light workers and starseeds that are here, you know, the spiritual path is not one of just, it's not just one of bouncing around. I'm getting Care Bears and nerds. It's not just one of rainbows and lights. It's not just acting a certain way and calling yourself something. It's a lot of undoing things that we did growing up, that we absorbed, that we adopted, that were forced upon us. So now we're undoing a lot of layers. So that's why the fear element is always present, when in other previous lives it doesn't exist, because there's nothing to be afraid of, who you are. So recognize that right now. Some of you may be feeling activated or called, or you may get a certain push. It's as if for a while you may have felt stagnant or just very exhausted and tired, because there's also physical manifestations of ascension, right? And all of a sudden you get an internal radar. It's not like a bell, but if any of you cook or use a timer, you'll know when it goes off. Well, it's ready, whatever is ready. You may have felt that energetically. You know, it's time to go. I have to go. I have to start. And so you're being activated, you're being called, for those of you that have felt fear of putting yourself out there, because it's interesting, like the light workers, starseeds that I've connected to, many folks are doing things that are way out of their comfort zone. It's because you're being anchored to different areas where your own energetic frequency, your light, as people say, light is needed. That's why a lot of us are spread out all over the world. We're not clustered. Could you imagine if there was just a cluster in one part of the world, like the other part would, no, it would be very lopsided. And this gets more into perhaps metaphysical concepts of anchoring, of grid work, of holding, because everyone has different roles here. I've been receiving a shit ton of messages through dreams. And it's interesting because I'm not a general, growing up, I received a lot of stark dreams, but that wasn't the significant or the most significant channel I received things. Now it is. I receive a lot, and also in my waking days. And I feel like many of you are receiving the same thing. Because I'm not the only one. There's lots of you out there. So this is a time to start taking that internal action and also cleaning up around you. There's, again, this is don't mess with me energy right here. So many of you are going to be cleaning up, and there's an element to really deep clean. You can include that like fall, spring cleaning, winter cleaning, summer cleaning, whatever you want to call it. It's not just cleaning your physical environment, but getting rid of energies around you, because everything has energy that doesn't support where you're going. You will know this, and I feel like I don't have to say that anymore. Many of you are coming out. It's like a coming out. You know, in socialite events, when people come out, they're made known, they're introduced to society. That's what's happening here. Many of you are about to embark and introduce yourself. Some of you are going to be starting projects, starting your own business. There's a creation energy here where you're being very much called upon. It's like it's time now. Start that book where you share your story or experience. That could be plural. Some of you are going to be writing more than one book. You start a podcast. There's a lot of virtual tech elements here because that's where we are as a society and what we're moving towards. So some of you are starting YouTube channels, blogs, platforms. You may be starting something that's going to allow you to express that energy that your soul is here to share with the world. Soul print, as I call it. Only you have it. It's best way to describe this is like ice cream. You know, for example, let's say your favorite ice cream is chocolate. There is a shitload of different chocolate ice cream flavors and different types. You have chocolate custard, which is similar to ice cream. I'm saying that loosely, not in ingredient wise, because I can already feel like people that are chefs or work in that area, they're like, no, the ingredients are different. Loosely, we're just gonna call things related. But there's gelato, there's ice cream, there's frozen yogurt, you know, and then we have different types of chocolate and different flavors and brands. That's exactly how we are here. There may be someone else, just like tarot readers or channelers, psychic mediums or coaches or therapists, whatever the case. They may do something the same, but they don't do it the same way. So there's that fear from many folks that I'm feeling right now. Well, that's already being done, or they're doing it, or what do I have to contribute? You. It's just you that you're contributing at this moment, and you're needed. You're feeling that call. You're feeling that activation. It may be scary as shit. That's another video for you that I'll share my story. It's scary because you're unveiling yourself. And that means you're undoing a lot simultaneously while you're being called to step it up. So your light, this sounds so cliche. Your particular light frequency, your soul print is needed at this time. At the bottom of the deck, we have 9 of discs, which is earth energy, and 6 of wands. Look at this. When you step into your power, and look, we got 8 of swords. So again, there's a lot of beliefs coming up to undo, to free yourself from, because been there. And as you continue in this journey, it'll unravel and more things will poke up and you're like, what? Look at this. When you step into your light, The lighthouse is calling. I connect to lighthouses. We find each other through lights. You feel it. It's all energetic. I literally do not trust like a lighthouse. When you step into your light and you follow the other lighthouse and then you help guide others, like guiding lights, you're going to see success that you want. And that success as you define it. For some, it's simply getting the perfect couch. Others having a sanctuary. Others buying a home. Others traveling as a nomad. Whatever the case, you're going to see that success that you want. And there's going to be tremendous growth, both on an earthly level and also on a spiritual level. Okay, let's continue. I have oracles. I want to try to keep this 30 minutes or less. What other messages do the starseeds have? Do we need to know right now at this time? My dogs are watching me like, yeah, I don't know what the big deal is. You should know this. It's different when you look at animals. They just do it. They don't hesitate. They gotta pee, they just pee. Bottom of the deck of the Starseed Oracle, we have Child of the Cosmos. The intelligence of the universe lies within you. You see that light around the heart? You may be feeling pulses, activations happening. We got Messenger. Serious energy, bringing harmony and balance. This is exactly the themes that are reoccurring right now. I should say recurring rather than reoccurring, because they're repeating, especially with the cycle around relationships, balancing, letting go, releasing. So, and you see the lights here? You see the posture? It's so similar here. Look at this. The posturing is similar. You all are here to deliver and express through your experiences, through your divine creations, which are very unique for everyone. Right now, you're being called. It's time. Some of you connect with Sirius, with that star constellation, and with the civilization, harmony and balance. Right now, the world, there's a lot of transformation happening in the world, and there's a lot that's leaving, dying out, and there's also a lot that's popping off, especially with violence, conflict, turmoil. It's like things are being squeezed to excrete, to express, to flush out. And you're here to also help balance that, because there's fear that comes with this, a lot of fear when we see violence and war. So many, it's a darkness, it's a dark cloud, and it's spreading. Think about when we had Chernobyl in Ukraine and radiation leaked from the nuclear plant. And it spread in a cloud. It floated through Western Europe onward, and it contaminated a lot. That's the energy that I'm feeling right now, with a lot of fear in the collective. And for those of you that are watching this, you are starseeds and light workers. And so the work that you're here to do, excuse me, one sec. The work that you're here to do is to speak your truth, to share who you are, to share your wisdom, ancient and present from this incarnation. Some of you are afraid of talking, of communicating, of putting yourself out there, and it comes one step at a time. It could simply start with someone in your neighborhood and you can work your way up, but this is a time not to turn your switch off. You are also going to help stabilize the Earth's consciousness right now, so that people are able to tap more into the frequency of peace, of love, of harmony, which are very high octaves of this frequency, instead of fear, hatred, resentment, which is very low, because you can feel it everywhere. This doesn't mean, also I have to say this, it doesn't mean just because we tap into these harmonizing frequencies and try to connect to this and to try to work and amplify this that we bypass or we ignore, because very much the collective energies are reflective of individuals, of our own journeys. And so they will also reflect to you, well, how are you reacting or responding to these situations that are happening around the world? What is going on within your own soul, internally, and also within your own unit, friends, families, those around you? We often see similar power struggles, similar power dynamics, different forms of violence, verbal, physical, etc. And also the recuperation and healing from that. My dog and another dog from the neighborhood are barking together. So this is exactly what's happening. We're connecting to, you may find yourself connecting to like-minded souls, especially since the nodes shifted into Aries Libra, but I'll say now post eclipse, and even now where we are in the moment of Earth's evolutionary journey. More and more, as you are on this journey, you're connecting with people that are like-minded to you, and you connect through barks like the dogs did. We connect through energy. We connect in other ways. That's why it's important. You're getting messages too, and you're being called. You're being called for, I'll say, spiritual duty. Okay. Let's pull another oracle to see what else we need to know. What other messages do we need to know for this time? Oh, okay. We have horse energy. This has come up in so many readings I've been doing, horse energy. Some of you connect to horse. Some of you are Andromedans, connect strongly to that 12th dimension energy, because they're one of the most freedom-loving, expansive souls. We have find the balance between instinctive and tamed part of your personality. See, the word balance is coming up when we have horse. It's kind of hard to see with the glare. Hold on. I'm holding this right here so you can read it. And here's the horse. So there's a part of you, you may be feeling this pull. Who had this reading? It was either Aquarius, Capricorn, or Pisces. You're feeling this pull now to separate, differentiate, and to do what your soul is calling you to do, which is a strong signature of starseeds and light workers. You may follow the off-beaten path. You may do something that's very different from what your family does. You may choose to leave a very quote-unquote lucrative or successful, as you define it, lifestyle, career, whatever it is. But there's something here where that's coming up where you feel you may need to break away from or come into. Because horses, from what I know, they're very communal type of animals. They enjoy being, they're social, I should say. They like being around others. They're also very, very intuitive. They represent freedom, authority on your terms, liberation, independence. There's a free-spirited energy here. Some of you will be finding, whenever you find this reading, you know, during your journey right now, that you're wanting to break away or needing to break away from certain limitations. So there's an internal balancing happening within you as well. I'm getting Mustang horses. I don't, again, like I'm not an equine rider or a horse rider or any of that. I've pet some horses before. I love horses. But what I know of Mustangs, because I see them running freely with their manes out and they're running in groups. Almost reminds me of the Rockettes, the dancers in Radio City Music Hall. They're like lined up and they're all running. So this to me speaks of leaving behind anything, person, place, thing, belief system, and especially that you are wanting to liberate yourself from and joining in with others in a community type of way. So it could be energetically linking up with others, or in your local community, joining a community of sorts, or a club, or some type of meetup or connection with others. We also have Triketra. This energy of movement inspires creations of life within you, encourage and delight the senses into life movement. This is hard to see. So again, to me, what's coming through is it's time to align yourself to your path. It doesn't mean you have to have it defined or figured out. It doesn't mean you have to know or that there's just one path, but it's just the right now. And I feel like those connecting here already feel that. You're feeling a realignment, a GPSing when you take a route, when you go off course and the GPS reroutes you. That's what I'm feeling. There's something happening that's, you're being called to start following those nudges. And I keep getting the fear, but you're being guided. So it's all, each and individually, everyone is being guided right now. You're connecting to whomever is part of your spiritual team, and also your Starseed family. But yeah, I keep getting like creative outbursts, starbursts, those candies, because I'm seeing different colors burst into liquid. So many of you are getting this impetus. It could be because of these downloads that have happened and are continuously happening, that it's time for you to create. That's what we're here for as souls, to create. We got whale. Just as the whale can dive deep into the depth of the sea and endure immense pressure, you are also able to endure both emotional and physical pressures. Whales also commune together. I don't know what the correct term is for whales, it's like school of fish, but they travel together in packs, in groups, and their song is absolutely beautiful. They communicate through songs, and that vibration, they can hear one another through long distances as well. So you all are also getting awakened by your Starseed family, but also by other light workers. It's that light. Have you ever met someone and you just know, you're like, that person, I've known them before, or we've done this or that, or things they start to be revealed. This is what's happening right now. This is the realignment process too, and the physical manifestation I mentioned earlier. As you are energetically upgrading and part of the ascension journey, you feel physical manifestations. This is not, I will say, medical advice, so I always want to put that disclaimer on. Always consult your own doctor, mental health care professional, and any other medical folks that you consult with. And always trust yourself and your intuition. But from my experience, myself, and what I've experienced on this ascension journey, they're common ascension symptoms we go through. Right now, there's also going to be a huge emotional purging. I've been feeling that. I've noted that in weekly energy forecasts I've done, and also through some readings. I've gotten this for a lot of folks as well, in private and also collective readings I've done. There are things that are just being expunged, and I kept seeing a toilet flush. I always ask my guides, my spiritual team, all of them, which includes more than just my spiritual guides, for very easy, simple to understand. I'm like, I'm not here to do a philosophical riddle. And I kept getting toilet flushing. So a lot of things are being cleared away from you. And this is what's happening. It's like a recalibration, part of this realignment process, because you're being called upon at this time. It's like the light switches, you know, grids. Imagine there's a universal grid, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, Christine, it's time, and they plop open the light for Christine. That's what's happening here. So you can feel that as well. Finally, we got moon. Escape from the black cloud. Didn't I mention a black cloud earlier? Escape from the black cloud that surrounds you. Then you will see your own light as radiant as the full moon. At the time of this filming, October 28th, it's the full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus. I felt so guided to film this. I had no intention. I had completed a crap load of readings earlier and I was going to finish, and I just heard you need to do something about starseeds. And I'm like, okay. So I intuitively picked some oracle and tarot. There's a lot of darkness coming up to be released. It doesn't mean we bypass it. That's why we're all experiencing so much right now as a collective. We're seeing it pop off in the world. Whew, it's like the oven got too hot and it exploded. And it's like a volcanic type of experience. It's coming out, it's purging, a lot of purging happening. And some of it manifests obviously in very violent ways, and it's extremely emotional. This isn't to bypass it though. At the same time, if you stand and you surround yourself and stay in these clouds, that's why when you start connecting frequently to things that are very heavy, it affects you, especially if you are a starseed or light worker, or you are very identified as an empath, or you're a healer. You absorb it very quickly, and so you have to really stay attuned and differentiate what's yours and what's not, and take time to withdraw. It doesn't mean you don't care. That's probably one of the biggest lessons for starseeds, is learning to detach and take care of yourself. Because when you are at your best, that's when you can offer the healing to the world, to the collective, to others. If you're not, you are going to become one of those that need healing. So it's important to take care of yourself, to focus that energy and also healing yourself. The moon is also nurturing, that environment of nurturing, of home, our emotional sense of safety. Some of you are also being obscured. This speaks to boundary. What we got earlier with the Justice card and with the King of Swords. Some of you need to disconnect, cut, put strong ass boundaries with people and with situations, energies around you, because they're affecting your energy. And your energy has to be clear of this. Some people around you, I feel, how do I explain this in the best way possible? You may have people that are jealous or envious around you and may try to diminish you through so many ways, which is beyond the scope of this video. It simply is. And I mentioned it a bit and inferred earlier. And you are going to know this because, again, fears come up, people see you progressing, you're doing your work. And what people see on the outside and what's actually happening on the inside from your perspective are very different things. So we don't always have the full story of what's happening. Okay, let's continue on. We're going to pull a soul journey card. What else do we need to know or be aware of at this time? Thank you. As I mentioned earlier, we got empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. Are you getting the theme here? There's a focus on balance, on twos, seeing both sides, especially with a lot of the conflicts we're seeing right now. Look at this. And it's rooted in our sense of safety. There's fear, root chakra coming up, base chakra. We also have courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence. Whew, I love it when the cards are just like, yep, we're going to reinforce this. So again, there's a lot of shit coming up where we are seeing things and seeing people for who they truly are, both collectively and in our personal journeys. And it's so easy to go down a rabbit hole of this or that or what's going wrong, etc. And as humans, it requires we go through it, not around it. And we support. There's a lot of, again, the call here. It's like a whale call. A lot of starseeds and light workers at this time are feeling it big time. A whale call from we'll just say the star seeds in general, all of them, calling through their, I'm getting, it's telepathy as well, but it's also energetic. It's like the whale song. It's vibrational. You're feeling it energetically. This is a time for empathy, for love. There's a need to balance the scales here. So right now, the world is very much tilted. It's going down at this moment, and it's very cyclical. So just because it's down now doesn't mean it's going to stay that way. But we have to experience this as a collective so that we know what it is that we need to do to change it. You have to experience one end, it's duality, to experience the other, and also to appreciate and understand that. There have been so many things that have been going on in the world, like what's been going on in Israel and in Gaza with the Palestinians at this moment. And it's awakening so much for so many people, because this is just one example, because there's a lot of conflicts and just a lot of shit going on, whether it's violence in areas, acute violence, or systemic and other forms that have been occurring for decades. It's awakening people up. What is going on here? What do we need to be aware of? What is coming up for me? What am I feeling? Because it's easy to see things, especially if it's not affecting you, to ignore it. And we're being forced with a lot of these giant ass calamities. It's like towers falling, to actually wake up and pay attention. People think one person doesn't make a difference, but it does. When you have one here, one there, it adds up. And so this is really important at this time, to cultivate the energy that you wish to see and to become. Same thing with courage, about facing fear with confidence. Some of you, I feel, want to speak about some of these situations. You want to speak out about so many things that are happening. And it takes a lot of bravery to speak out when you don't know what the outcome will be. And it can be difficult because not everyone will support you. I've been seeing this with some folks, especially with what things are happening right now and people taking sides and what's coming up. It's showing us where there's an imbalance. It's highlighting to us discrepancies that have been visible to some and hidden to others in the past several decades, and where we want to go as a collective. Remember, the energies that you bring yourself also help amplify in the collective. That's why many light workers and starseeds are being activated right now and called. And those that have been already awake on this journey, and when I say awake, I'll just say conscious. They're aware, they're on this, they're like, yep, I've been in this part of it, I'm doing it. You're also recognizing this as well and helping to support others. That's why so many of us on this journey, this wasn't my goal when I started out in my early life career. I had my sights on being a political scientist, and I entered that, and I was a human rights academic scholar. I'm like, I didn't have any idea that I was going to be assisting people, doing intuitive spiritual coaching, or any of this. This wasn't part of the game plan. And I feel like many of you are also in similar situations. And so we're here to also support others. It's a lighthouse. It's really hard right now with emotions, because so many folks were realizing that not everyone has the emotional intelligence, emotional capacity, emotional acuity. Emotions have been stagnant, have been devoid for so long on this earth. People have bypassed emotions. People have bypassed feeling, a lot of avoidance. And right now, all this shit is coming up. Just like in the collective, within, you may feel some experiences within your own life from this incarnation, trauma. We'll just say traumas and triggers. We're going to keep it general because there's a lot to classify within or to separate into subfields. A lot of stuff is popping off. so that we can feel. That's what I've been sensing. There's a lot of detachment happening with folks. And particularly since we're entering into an era where there will be a lot of air energy, further detachment. But it's important that people learn how to maneuver, how to perhaps experience and sit with their emotions, sit with their feelings. Because so many people immediately react to those, right? They react very quickly without actually recognizing, like, whoa, what's happening to me? Why am I feeling this way? Do I even need to react? And I'm just speaking on a human, like, personal level, on emotions in general. I'm not using metaphors for anything in relation to anything right now. So this is a time where lighthouses, in other words, starseeds, light workers, are really being asked to put your cape on and to appear, to get out. You got sacral energy here, sacral, solar plexus energy, and root chakra. A lot of chakras are being activated right now. Again, I'm just feeling the pull where many folks are being illuminated to this. Okay, we're going to get two more, the Pleiadian deck by the astrologer Braca Goldsmith. I really love this deck. I love the energy. It's Pleiadian, so any of you that connect to Pleiades will connect to this. What other messages do we need to know at this time? Thanks. We've got one. Cultivate your attitude of abundance. Don't the colors look similar with the reds and purples? Look at this. To me, this speaks a lot about recognizing your own abundance, your own value first. You need to receive the abundance that you want. And this isn't just money. It's how you define it, what it means to you, how you connect to it. To receive what it is that you want, you have to first believe that you are it. So this taps into worth, into valuing yourself, loving yourself. Remember at the bottom of the deck, we had 9 of discs. You know what? Yes, and 6 of wands. You got to believe in yourself enough to go after it and to take a risk to do something now. I'm not going to say it's a now or never, because this is a continuous, perpetual cycle that'll come up. You don't want to get on the elevator right now? Okay. The elevator will come back for you. But there is a very strong calling right now. And for those that are feeling it, you're being asked to step forward. Because this is coming. It's when you start lining up and just listening to what it is you feel you need to do. It's going to assist in the development in feeling that way as well. The more courageous things you do, whether it's, you guys, it could be small, trying a new food, going to a different market, and then slowly the gradients gets more challenging, right? You do things that are a little bit more out of your zone or more difficult. It raises your courage quotient. This is also too about experiencing things. Many of you have experiences to share that is also going to be especially healing at this time for folks. There's a lot of personal narratives, storytelling, a lot about connecting to the past, especially with ancestors, family, past incarnations, whether that's past life or in other civilizations, planets, etc., that are helping folks right now as they travel this path as well. Empathy is as much holding it for others as it is for yourself. So it's also a reminder to really take care of your energy at this time. Can we get final advice for starseeds at this time? Thank you. You got the Magician, Virgo energy, Mercury ruled. At the bottom, we have Seven of Discs, Ace of Wands. Many of you are ready to grow. You're going to step up. That's what the energy I'm feeling. You're being called. You're like, okay, look at this. You are the creator of your own reality. Now I feel like this sounds so cliche, but it's very, very true. You're the creator of your reality in this world. You're also here. Think about just who you are first before saying, well, it's just me. What you have to give, to offer, and who you are as a soul, which is very unique because there's no one else like you in this world. There's maybe people similar, but there's no one else like you. You are here to help create. For many of you that are here to uplift and amplify Earth's consciousness, the feminine energy, and even healthy masculine energy, both, to balance those out, to bring those into balance as well. A lot is happening. You are part of this process, and you're being called to be a part of it, to be an active participant in it. Your creations are just that. They come from you, from divine inspiration, from your own divinity, from your own soulprint. There's no one else. I keep getting artists and musicians, especially that compose. There's no one else that composes. You can get inspiration from others, but everything that you create is from you. We see, I'm getting justice energy here, but I see with the infinity, it's time. Some of you have done this before already. You're being called to create, bottom line. So whether or not you step into this elevator for this moment, it's up to you. That's where the free will comes. But for those of you, you're ready. If you are seeing this message and you've been feeling this, you're ready. I hope this message helped a starseed or light worker out there. There's a lot happening right now in the world. And the best thing we can do to offer the world is our own essence in the best or healthiest way possible. And that means taking care of ourselves so that we can take care of others and guide others and support and speak on so many different issues. Just because you're tapped into this doesn't mean, I want to say this, that you are pursuing a spiritual type of career or work or job. Some of you are pursuing other careers that may seem more traditional, and that's what you're meant to do and what you're being guided, but you're carrying that energy with you. It's a very conscious, deliberate, intentional energy. Thank you so much for being here. If this has helped, comment down below. I'd love to hear your experiences. Share your stories with me. Have you been feeling like you are being called to do something, whether you've been on this journey for a long time or not? Have you felt like all of a sudden someone poked at you and you're like, I got to do something? What has been going on for you? Comment down below, share. The best way to support me and my growing channel is to hit the like button, the thumbs up, subscribe, share this if this has helped you in any way. Otherwise, thank you so much for being here. I'm really grateful you took time out of your day. I will see you soon.